Hi, Misty. Is it Miss? No, it's Misty. Misfit 78. How are you? I got my sliding glass doors open, so you might hear the trucks and stuff going by. I don't think you care, but just warning you, because they go by here. How is everyone today on this fabulous Thursday? How you doing? Let me make this so it's easier. There. We should have an easy crowd. Okay. I had the feeling you were going like, did you? You manifested it. You manifested it. You had the knowing. What's up, Joy? You had a feeling I was going live today, too. Look at that. Two of you. Manifestation. It's always a good day when Kim goes live. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Dana. I appreciate that. I've had an interesting day. I had a dentist appointment that took up my day. So I'm getting implants. I don't know why I'm telling you that, but I'm getting implants. You needed me to go live today, Nicola. Why? I mean, I hope that's a good reason why. Thank you, Misfit78. Everyone hit the like, spread the good news. Thank you so much. You've been waiting, Hope? See, you manifested it too. Finally, I'm not out driving Uber while you're live. That's right. Now you can enjoy it. I'm getting new tires. Not quite as painful. I just got my snow tires, or whatever the hell they're called. I just got those off yesterday. So we're thinking alike, Dana. We are reflecting each other. What's up, Ali? Hello. How important is self-concept in manifesting SP? All right. I'm going to keep it real. Depending on where you are in awareness, where you are in consciousness, it matters if that's where you are in consciousness. I know that sounds like fuckery, and I don't mean it to sound like fuckery. Why am I wording it like that? Because I don't know how new you are to manifestation, but those of you who have been around the community a while, don't you notice the trend? The trend. See, since the law of assumption community started, which is, I've been here since it started. Before that, it was just law of attraction. I'm wording it this way for a reason. So I've been around a while. You notice the trend of popular topics and how they go up and down, up and down. So originally, I would say the trend topic was affirming. Then the trend topic was, I believe it was like affirmation tapes, sleep tapes, same idea. Then it was self-concept. It goes up and down, up and down. The truth is, let's go back to when affirmations were the big deal. Now, mind you, I'm only wording it this way because I'm not trying to say that affirmations just started. I don't mean, or just started back then. I don't mean that. I'm saying the popularity of that technique and how everybody and their mother was making, affirmation videos. Then it was everybody and their mother was making meditation tapes. Then it was everybody and their mother talking about your self-concept. And then it was everybody and your mother talking about states of consciousness. It goes in waves of popularity, but it shows up in your reality based on where you are in your awareness, or you could look at it as where you are in consciousness. As we expand our awareness, we rise in consciousness. If you're brand new to this, I understand how this sounds like woo-woo shit, and it's probably going right over your head, and I understand. So how important is your self-concept in manifesting a specific person? That depends on what you believe. So if self-concept has been showing up all over the place in your reality, that might be where you're at. Sounds fucked up, doesn't it? Here's why. There's nothing to change but self. The only thing that honestly truly matters, and you will evolve to know this, is to know that you're source. That's the only thing that matters. Knowing you are the I am. Everything else is a concept of understanding to match where you are in awareness, which is why we hear so many people attached to their techniques, because they're not evolving past their techniques. Everybody will evolve past things. Evolving past does not mean that that person has, is superiority. That's not what it means. It's just where their understanding has expanded to. Okay? So it's important based on what you personally believe. What you believe about yourself, what you believe about your specific person, what you believe about love, what you believe about relationship, all of those things go in a bucket. Mix that bucket up, kind of like cake, like we're making cake. It's all the ingredients to the cake. So your specific person manifestation is like a cake. So the manifestation baked and served, okay, with its frosting on it, is you being in the relationship with your specific person. Everything else before that, all the ingredients that we kept throwing into the batter, were your beliefs about the things I just described. But so it's as important as you believe it's important. It's as important as to where you are in awareness. This is why there is content telling you to drop the whole idea of self-concept. That person making that content is not wrong. Because once you know that you are God, consciousness experiencing itself, the physical, in reality. So you're experiencing reality through your personal avatar. Once you're aware of that and that understanding has clicked in, you will realize that all the other things that you learned about manifestation, you've surpassed it. I hope this is making sense. Once you're in the full awareness that you are the God of your reality and that everything else is a layer of ignorance, you realize you don't need anything but the story of who you are, who you're choosing to be. And it's only a story. It's a story of the avatar you're sitting in. So, what do you believe? What are the stories going on in your mind about love, about that specific person, about what's possible for you? Those are the things that matter. Don't get lost in the endless cycle of trying to fix your self-concept, because that's all it is. And it's all it's going to lead you to, is the constant searching of what's wrong with you. Why hasn't this manifested yet? Why hasn't reality changed? What is wrong with me that I don't see what I want in reality? Cycle, cycle, cycle. It's never ending. And you will consistently find more wrong, find more wrong, find more beliefs to change. Go to the end. Put the focus on what you want. Don't fight against what you're experiencing in reality. Don't fight against it. The more you accept and allow, the faster things come. The more you relax into your physical experience, instead of fighting against it, questioning where things are, the faster things change, because you're allowing it to change. You're not hanging on to a story. See what I mean? Hope that made sense. Beyonce, member for 17 months. Thank you very much. Hey, Kim, I was moving along. Things were moving. Now SP has vanished again. How do I keep motivated? This is getting depressing and makes me feel like I am failing at this manifestation. Why does this keep happening? Why do you keep responding to it? Why do you keep feeling like it's fucking failing, not working? And I'm not yelling at you, sweetie. I'm saying, hear this. Hear it. When it feels like he's disappearing, he's gone, he's out again, he's quiet again, no contact, all the things. Why, in the midst of you discovering that that's what's happening in 3D reality, why do you immediately align with it? Why do you immediately believe it and start panicking and start believing and start thinking and overanalyzing and scaring yourself into thinking, here we go again. Here we go again. He's disappearing again. Here we go again, right? It's probably something along those lines. Why can't I just get this? Why can't he just show up right? It's the story you're agreeing with. Why are we afraid of the quiet? What meaning do we give that quiet? What does it mean to you when it feels like he's really disappearing because he's really not doing anything? Nothing in this 3D reality is, as crazy as it sounds, nothing in this reality is real. Your imagination is, though. So what are the stories that you're agreeing with that makes you feel like he's actually gone? Because he's not. He's not. What does the quiet mean to you? What does it equate to? So for example, when it feels like you're not hearing from him and days start going by, what does that equate to? I'm never going to have the love I want. I'm never going to have the relationship I want. Why doesn't he love me? Why doesn't he treat me better? Why isn't this working? Why do I keep staying in this cycle of trying to fix this and get this person to show up the way I want? Why can't I get out of this cycle? When is this going to change and change for good? Those are probably some of the things running through your head, right? What meanings do you give the quiet? I'm just like making this part up as an example. That I'm not enough for him, I guess, or too much for him. Ooh. Why would you be too much? That's a story. Truthfully, every single thing we think about reality, every meaning we give things in reality are all stories, conditions. It's all conditions. Sorry, I'm adjusting things here. Do you believe in karma as a master manifester? No, I don't believe in karma at all. It's another conditioned belief. I'm going to call it a belief system. Just for the sake of anybody else hearing it, so they get what I'm saying. It's a belief system. It's bullshit. Karma exists if you believe it exists. That could be a tough one to accept, especially if you've grown up with believing in karma. Kind of like I grew up under Catholicism. So I still, I can just be out and about in life and I'll still, as I'm experiencing something, get a jolt of, ooh, my Catholicism teachings. And that's a moment that you recognize, you remember, oh, it's all bullshit. That's conditioning. It's not real for me anymore. It's not true for me anymore. Nothing is. This shade of blue, conditioning. Conditioning. Everything is. Everything we believe. Everything we know is a manifested something from consciousness. I love him, Kim. I want to bring this bitch in already. Okay, then you have to drop the story that he's not in. You have to transcend the logic. How do you transcend the logic? You realize that the reason why you think you don't have him yet is because you've applied meanings to the situation in reality. You've applied a meaning to it. You've given it a story. So what I was going to say is, like, so for example, when we don't hear from that person, that has a meaning. There's a meaning why, or can't even talk. The meaning we're giving it is the reason why we panic and feel bad when it feels like he disappears again. So when we feel like he disappears again, like an example of a meaning is when he's quiet, that means he doesn't love me. He doesn't want to talk to me. He's not choosing me. Now you gave examples of how you felt. Felt like maybe I'm too much. You know, maybe I'm too much for him. Why would you be too much for him? Why would you even for a moment think that about yourself? Because the not good enough belief is in there. The not good enough belief. Something or someone, some experience has made you feel that you're too much. And what is it? Because you have emotions, because you have feelings. Did someone in your, your younger years, I mean your child years, make you feel bad for crying, for having an emotion? Because it's bullshit. It's conditioning. Because you're not too much. Every single one of us is perfect and whole exactly the way we are. But the only one who can accept that and believe it and therefore see the change from it in reality is self. So you have to know you are not too much unless you think of too much as a good thing, which I don't think you do. So you have to change that story. Yeah, I am good enough as I am. Yes, Brittany Brooks. I want to be one of your success stories. Then you claim your ass as being one. See yourself as typing into the chat. I did it! I did it. Because technically you did already do it, Beyonce. It's the only reason why you even want this. It's because it already exists. Because unconditioned awareness, unconditioned consciousness wants the experience. It wants you to have it. And when I say it, I do mean your true self. All of this, everything around you is your own personal video game or your own personal soap opera, movie, TV show, whatever words you resonate with. All of this is made personal for you. And the beauty of it is we're intermingling with all these other beings. We're bumping up against them. And then from there, we're selecting versions of them based off the selection we've made of ourselves. So we want a version that doesn't disappear because we don't enjoy the disappearing. But we're going to back away from what we think the disappearing means. Him being quiet does not mean you've lost him. That's a meaning you've given it. And you're not wrong for your meaning. Meaning that meaning came from somewhere. So let me say it like this. When I first found the law of assumption, first two things I wanted to manifest was a boyfriend and money. And on my SP journey, but if you are not new to my channel, you've heard plenty of my SP examples. But for anybody that's new, my response to not getting text messages wasn't great. Because I, just like Beyonce, would see quiet as, oh, this person doesn't want me. This person doesn't like me, doesn't love me, doesn't want to talk to me, doesn't want to be in a relationship with me. Because if they did, they would contact me. Because that's what it means to me. Contact equals you love me. Text messages equal you want me, you choose me, you love me. And if I don't get that contact, that must mean you don't care about me or you're falling out of love with me, depending on where you are in the relationship, or that you don't want to be in the relationship anymore with me, or you're definitely cheating. That's an automatic meaning. That is the automatic place my head would go with one missed text message. One. You know how crazy that sounds? It sounds crazy to me now. But when I was living as that version of myself, it didn't seem crazy. It seemed crazy to me that not everybody thinks the same exact way I do. What do you mean it doesn't bother you if you don't get a morning text from your person? How does that not bother you? Don't you see that person must not love you? They didn't text you this morning. Yeah, that's how Looney Tunes I was. Because I equated that to love. So I had to break out of that myself. He could not do that for me. And it took me a bit, which is why I share it. Because I know it sucks as you're learning to not tell that story about yourself anymore. It all boiled down to me not feeling good enough about myself and not feeling worthy and deserving of a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. I didn't think I was worthy of it. I've said before that, like, even when I started this YouTube channel, that lingering, no one's gonna like me, was still there. I just chose to post anyway. But that lingering was there for a little while. Who's going to listen to, I wasn't 50 yet, but a 40-year-old woman? Who the hell wants to listen to me? Why would anybody want to talk to me? Why would anybody want to listen to me? I'm not a perfect person. Who's going to want to watch me on the internet? I had to transcend that on top of the love category, the money category. But they can be changed. And it doesn't take long linear time to do it. But when you're a willing participant, when you're willing to see yourself as you really are, which is source, you come to figure out that, oh my God, I have been lying to myself my whole life. All the beliefs I had were cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're nutty. And in my experience, what my journey looked like, I don't look at it as anybody else's fault. I don't see it as, well, my parents must have dumped all these beliefs on me. That's just not the person I am. I see it as, no, every single person on this planet has conditioning. And I'll say good parents, because I know there are abusive people out there. My parents were good parents. So parents are doing the best they can from their own beliefs, their own belief system, right? So manifestation requires authenticity and requires that willingness to look inside yourself and see the stories that are there. Now, before I made a channel, I had started my journey before the channel started, just for what it's worth. So not everything is on here documented. I guess that's what I'm trying to tell you. But some of the stories that I carried about love felt like they were going to be impossible to change, because I would still react to them. I would still respond to them. If anything looked like my fear in reality, I'm telling you, I would have absolutely cold sweats of fear that I was losing the thing I wanted. So when it came to love, that was me. If there were any signs that person wasn't in love with me, that's it. I spent the whatever time left in the relationship I would spend on eggshells, fearing for the next moment that person would show up and not be perfect to me. So I wasn't enjoying my relationships at all, because I was always in a state of fight or flight. I was always in preparing to be hurt. Like I enjoyed nothing. But I didn't know that was what was normal for me in love, I'm saying. That was my normal up until figuring out who I really am. So what I'm trying to say is everything can be transcended. You are stuck as nothing. You want your SP to show up and fucking stay and treat you with love, kindness, respect, and all the good words? It's time you see yourself as being that person. It's time to see yourself as already being her or him. You're already that person. You always were that person, but your awareness was not focused on that version of you. And this is why we can decide who we are, which is why you don't have to go on the long journey of fixing ourselves. I hope that made sense. Thank you, Bad Kitty. I remember seeing your thumbnails in 2020, but didn't click until 2023. Well, Ali, I am still very, very thankful that you did click and that you did show up and become a part of this community. I'm very much appreciative of that. I'm appreciative for everyone clicking and showing up here. Inner child healing, subconscious mind, and manifestation. What about the connection with Allah, these? Beliefs and stories. Is inner child healing required? No, it's not. Unless you believe it is. Only if you believe it is. Subconscious mind, think of it this way. Think of the subconscious mind is your, and I don't mean this as limiting as it's about to sound. Think of the subconscious mind as the quiet spirit within you, the God within you. But God is not limited to your subconscious mind. That's why I said it's going to sound limiting. But think of it that way. And the conscious mind is the self who's experiencing the physical, often called just ego, but it's not. It's not. The conscious mind is sending the directions, the choices, the free will choices. Think of it like that. Conscious mind is where our free will is at play. Subconscious mind is taking directions, but it's not limited. God is not limited to your subconscious mind. That's why I didn't want you to take that away from what I said. But think of it that way, kind of. So it's taking the instructions. Oh, Kimberly, identity, Kimberly. Kimberly believes she's a woman in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. Subconscious takes that instruction, starts to rearrange reality, or move reality and allow new reality to collapse in, depending on how you view or what your perception is of reality. Think of it like that. But anything outside of that is limits, rules. I hope that helped. So I just have to affirm that I am happily married to my SP. He's madly in love with me. He's obsessed with me. And just work on my self-concept like I am love, I am perfection. I don't have to be forced happy. No. However, when you're following your joy, when you're just living your life and doing things that you enjoy, that tends, this is another reason why I say like even like gratitude, those things seem to move us along a little quicker, as in allowing reality to change a little quicker and bring things to you a little quicker, because you're not forced and focusing on what you don't have or what you think you don't have. But no, we never have to force ourselves to be happy. But following what feels good, following your joy, is you allowing. You're allowing reality instead of squeezing it, which is what most people do. You are welcome, Pearl Beauty. Manifesting Maven. What? Oh, my screen just, I'm like, no. Hey, Kim, love you. I love you too. I have updated, or I think you mean updates, about the tattoo. It actually translates to he's mine in another language. Are you kidding me? And I love you put, yeah, I know. Wow. Not a coincidence. Anyways, doctor's appointment about that thing tomorrow, which I never fear, but I've been super sick this week. And that is okay because everything is going to be okay. Everything always works out for you, and you know it does. You might have twists and turns around your reality, but you know it always leads you to what you want. Always. You keep remembering that. You know that you're choosing who you are. You knew it. I don't have to convince you. You're already very aware. You already know that you are source, having the experience. So think about it. You are leaps and bounds already in this, girl. So you just keep focusing on exactly who you want to be. And you know, you get to trust that no matter where you're being led, it's to the outcome, always. And the manifestation was in front of you all along. You know this. You are not someone brand new. So this is going to be easy peasy. I've been choosing. I've always been healthy. And yeah, good, because you have been. You have been. And just for anybody else listening, the things that you're not enjoying in reality, the things you're afraid of happening in reality, don't look at them. Try not to. I know it's easier for me to say it, but try not to see them as threats or obstacles to what you want or things, right, that can get in your way. Obstacles. It's been like this all day. Poop. Be nice. People are allowed to walk by. Poop. She is the boss of this place. The things we fear, the things we're afraid of, the things I know, I'm trying to think like in a SP manifestation. Well, I don't want there to ever be a third party, or I don't want us to ever have to break up in order for the better version of him to come in. Those things we're fearing, don't you see? Those fears, those things we're afraid of are the very things that are lighting up in you what you actually want. They're helping you decide more clearly what you want. So they're nothing to be afraid of. They're not threats that are going to prevent you from experiencing your desire. In my early days, when I first found Neville Goddard, I was still very much afraid of things. Well, I don't want this to happen. I want this manifestation, but I don't want that to happen, right? I don't want this thing to show up because I'm manifesting this other thing. I'll use an example of manifesting money. Well, I want to manifest a lump sum, but I don't want someone to die to give it to me. I don't want someone to have an accident. I don't want to have a car accident to get that money. Now, don't get me wrong. Who the hell wants to get into a car accident, and who the hell wants to lose a family member? I know this, and I'm not trying to get you to do, just get over it. Don't worry about it. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that is helping us get more and more clear on what we want. So don't look at it as, oh my God, I can't think that thought. I just thought that thought. Now I'm afraid it's going to happen. No. Thoughts are just thoughts. Thoughts are just thoughts. When we're fearing something, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to show up. You're trying to stop yourself from experiencing the feeling of fear, whatever fear feels like for you. That's what you're doing. You're wasting time staring at something to prevent you having to feel a certain feeling. Because whatever shows up in reality has to lead you to your desire if you are, as unconditioned awareness, choosing to be aware with your free will, a version of yourself. Reality must reflect it. So anything you're afraid of popping up, can't get in the way, can't prevent the desire. If you're manifesting being healthy, right? We're all conditioned. Every single one of us is conditioned with certain types of health conditions as bad, fatal, no chance of survival, blah, blah, blah. No. You are not limited by that. So anything scary popping up, yes, it's scary. Yes, you might have a feeling, but it can't stop you from being a healthy, loving your life version of yourself. It can't. Nothing can, because you're source. You are God personified. Things happen outside of you. Boom, mic drop. I kid you not. Now I enjoy running and my body is snapping into shape. I am not surprised, Summer. I told you. I told you so, Summer. I knew good things were coming for you, Summer, and they're going to keep coming. I changed how I talk to my body and decided my organs are all working for me and the body will reflect. Yes, because this physical body is also a manifestation. Everything is a manifestation. Everything is a manifestation of consciousness or from consciousness, however you want to look at it. Thanks, Kim, you gave me a reframe. I am glad. I really think you should probably change your name to, Mastering Manifestation Maven. Because you are. Oh, Kim, I'm on cloud 9 these days. I am so happy to hear that. I'm very happy to hear that because you deserve to be on. We all deserve to be on cloud 9 all of the time. The only time we feel bad, the only time, I mean it, and you know it, the only time you feel bad or I feel bad is when we are thinking logically. When we are thinking logically about our circumstances, about 3D reality itself, or thinking logically about a fear in our mind, a thought coming up, something that hasn't even happened yet, but we're trying to prepare ourselves in case it does happen. We're setting ourselves up by protecting ourselves, which is not at all what we're really doing, but we think that's what we're doing. It's because we're thinking logically. Logic is conditioned. It's a condition. We have been conditioned to be logical. Logical. That me led to the healthiest me. That's all it is. Exactly. I lost a dream job because of a medical event and now am forced to try to medically retire. But I was denying my real dream, but struggling heavy to see it as the bridge lately. Okay, wait. I lost a dream job because of a medical event and now am forced to try to medically retire. But I was denying my real dream, but struggling heavy to see it as the bridge lately. So in other words, are you saying that something else outside of that dream job was always the thing you wish you had done instead? So you had a different passion, but maybe the 3D world says that the dream job that you don't work at anymore, that was a dream job that had all the special things, but your passion was over here on something else. Lost job at education nonprofit because I'm too sick, 3D, and really wanted to do music, but the health part is scary. Okay, so as far as the health part, you can still show up and do what you got to do in reality in regards to the health part, right? We don't have to throw things out. We don't stop going to the doctor. We don't stop those things, right? But even while doing those things, even if you're medically retiring, we can still accept what reality has presented while still being aware of who you really are and make the decision of the reality you choose. And if I were you, I would take a look at doing that music and see how that will end up becoming something that you are living your best life doing and making money from. Follow your joy. I know that's very easy for me to be. I know I'm being matter of fact. And when you're facing something that is scary, it's hard to trust it. I know. I've faced my own stuff. I know it's very hard to just hear someone else say, just follow your joy. It used to irritate me to hear that because I was like, no, you just don't understand how bad my problem is. You're just not understanding. Maybe you've got it easy, so you're not understanding what it's like to have a tough life. So trust me, I have an understanding of a tough life. I didn't find this stuff and really start applying it till I was 42. Found it at 38, blew it off till 42. So I've had a number of years of shit. Follow what feels good. There's a reason why that is said or that is shared by all the original mystics. It's going to lead you to your dream life, even if in this very moment you logically can't see how the dots are going to be connected to lead you to it. But I'm telling you, it will. It will. Let's see. Ali, thank you very much. Kim, I feel like I'm second guessing my desires of SP. Oh, like, do I really want him? Or was a previous version of me hooked on needing hot men to pick me? Really? Ali, I have said this before. There is a reason why, at least from my perspective, what I see in the community is like a 50-50 split. Meaning of there's that 50% of people who start this journey, manifesting an SP. They start, making better decisions on who they are, meaning they're worthy, they're, love themselves, all the things. They start making better decisions, see themselves as the worthy and deserving self. And then they carry on. They manifest their SP and they carry on, live happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. Then there's the other 50% who do the same thing. They start being a version of themselves that is very aware of their worth. And they start looking at their SP. Now, mind you, yes, they're looking at the version of their SP that was brought in by the less than amazing version of ourself. Okay. But I see it all the time where people start looking at their SP1 and thinking, I'm not even sure I actually want you. I'm not even sure why I ever wanted you. I'm not sure I'm in love with you. I see it. It's like a 50-50 split. So, do you think you actually love this person? Can you actually imagine you're spending, if the idea is to spend the rest of your life with him, can you see that? Does that feel good? And if it doesn't, then don't. Move on to someone else. What I think is helpful is asking yourself, if I know I can bring in the most amazing, loving version of specific person, SP1, if I know I can bring in that version, will that make me feel any different? Will I give a shit? Or am I just realizing I don't think I ever loved that person? And if you're thinking about the most amazing version of them and that's still not lighting the fire, then I would pick somebody else. Just saying. But what I can tell you, just from my own coaching experience, that SP will always come in. That SP1, like, just because you move on to an SP2, 3, 4, whoever, SP1 will still come in. Manifestation is perfect. I see it all the time. I know you were in the membership at one time. We have countless examples of people who moved on to a different SP, maybe moving on to like a BBL, then we change it to SP2, but their SP1 always comes in. So this is why there's no reason to like panic. Like, I'm not even sure I want this person. What if I'm making the wrong choice? Well, no, you can't make wrong choices. You can't. You're doing everything right. There's a reason why we want to tell ourselves that. You're doing everything right. But you having these thoughts doesn't mean that's going to prevent that SP from coming in. So don't worry about that if that's why you sent the super chat. It's not going to stop the person from manifesting. Kim, I listened to the self-confidence video and decided that I'm not dealing with hot and cold. Told SP I'm out and that I'm not going to tolerate that type of behavior. Sounds like somebody knows exactly what they're worthy and deserving of. Good for you. Especially if you were someone in the past who would keep putting up with shit because you were afraid to say anything or speak authentically because you thought that person would just leave you or not be with you or that you would ruin your manifestation. Well done. This is what becoming self is. Just saying. Well done. Kevin Donnelly, thank you very much. Your opening answer might be the most important thing that could ever be said regarding conscious creation. Thank you for leveling us up. Oh my God, Kevin. Kevin, thank you. Thank you so much. That was so friggin' nice. You always say nice things to me, Kevin. It is much appreciated. It is, look, wait, how can I reword this? You are a lovely reflection of my true self, and I appreciate it. So I should thank myself for that manifestation of you, huh? Thank you very much, seriously. Salty, thank you very much. Hey, Kim, think we can do an emergency call? Love you. Absolutely, we can. Absolutely. I'm glad you feel the same way, Kevin. Saba, thank you very much. Hi, Kim. One content creator on YouTube said, some things, no matter how much you imagine, is not good for your soul. That is why it may never manifest, no matter how much faith you have in your imagination. Is this true? 1,000,000% not true. 1,000,000%. Let me give you an example why. This is not the nicest example, but I'm going to just say it anyway. Do murderers get what they want? Do bad people, what I would call bad people, and mind you, that is my opinion on bad people, do they get what they want? Did it matter how terrible of a thing it was? No. And I know that's a strong example to use, but that is 1,000,000% not true. That again is putting power, authority, separation all outside of self. Separation kind of means that same thing. I guess I didn't need to add that one in there, but you get what I'm saying. It's putting all the power on the outside. And what that is, now listen, in all fairness, whoever the creator was that said that in the video, in their defense, they probably believe that. And they have probably experienced not getting something in their reality. And that is the excuse that has made them feel the best. And they are clinging to that. But it is a belief. So again, I don't want you to feel like that creator is lying, because they might not be. They might really honestly believe that. And remember, since we as individuals of consciousness, we get to choose our beliefs, whether it feels like we can or not. We do. And we can have, as you can see, as the evidence in this community or people not feeling great about themselves. We can have shitty beliefs. So to again, and just for what it's worth, when I first found all of this stuff, I was very upset with God. I was very mad at God because I believed that every time I got something I loved, it would be taken away from me. And I blamed God for that. I didn't understand what my part in all of this was at that time. But that's kind of what this creator is believing in. So, no, it is not true. About karma. So if someone did me wrong, they will never see the consequence of their actions. It depends on what you believe. But karma in of itself is a belief. It's a belief. I don't know how else to explain it. All there is, okay, like I'm saying, all there is, that phrase, all there is one. God. Everything is of that. Everything. Everything. God. Maybe God doesn't resonate. Maybe that word doesn't resonate with you. Universe. The absolute. One. I am. Higher power. Source energy. Moonbeams. But it's all unified as one. And every one of us is a unseparated piece experiencing the physical. Can't think of a better word than unseparated piece. So we're all in connection. Everything else is a layer upon layer upon layer of ignorance. And I know ignorance can sound like a negative word, but I don't mean it in a negative way, but everything else is a layer. Karma is a layer. It's a lack of a better phrase. I can't think of anything else to call it other than it's a belief system. So if someone wholeheartedly believes in karma and believes that people get their, what's that phrase? Just desserts. If you believe that, you will see evidence of that within your reality. But like someone like myself, I don't buy into karma at all. Don't get me wrong. I have the sass. I have that justice-ness inside of me. So I understand the wanting of it to be real, especially if someone has done something to you that is hurtful. And I do remember you. So I remember your situation. I remember the circumstance. So I understand wanting that person to get the just desserts. I understand it. I don't blame you. But because I don't necessarily believe in that word, I don't experience it. I don't experience the threat of it in my reality either. Do you see what I mean? Everything is a layer. Everything is a belief. Everything. This color blue, that shade of purple, Catholicism, and all the other religions, every single one of them, beliefs, layers of ignorance. There is only one God, source, I amness, consciousness. And that can be a tough thing to believe. It sounds illogical. I know it does. But as you do your best to quiet the mind and just go within, you'll begin to see the evidence of it, the truth of it. It's an internal truth. I don't know how else to explain it other than that way. Really, Misfit 78, look at that. We are reflections of each other. I don't think karma was ever real. I have to agree with you. I do. Not, I have to agree with you, Sebastian. No, I do agree with you, Sebastian. I don't think so either. My old self was a conspiracy theorist. I loved conspiracy theories. I still secretly do, but I'm very aware of what they are. They're just manifestations, right? So the conspiracy theorist that still is in me a little bit, thinks of it as that all religions were created in some way to keep control of people. And quite frankly, if you take some time and study and read up on all the religions, the dominant amount of them all boil down to really the same kind of message. Just that they're just little spin-offs because this person didn't agree with this person, so they started this religion. Well, that new religion, somebody didn't like that, so they went off and they opened up another one. And it's all over the place for the same one consciousness, unconditioned consciousness, just saying. So, some creators say that we don't have to believe our affirmation, but truly we have to believe, expect, and have that deep knowing that what we're affirming for arrives, right? You don't have to believe in order to manifest, and the proof of that is you've been manifesting unconsciously your entire life. So don't stress yourself out if you don't have total belief in what you're manifesting. Just saying. That will come naturally. That repetition is our friend. It is helpful as we are becoming more and more aware of our true self. Think of it that way. Saba, again, Kim, my ex is there for 3P in ways he never was there for me. Trips and gifts and all. How do I manifest him back? He loves her. No, that is the story you're telling, my beautiful friend Saba. That is a story you're telling. Now, because you and I have had a couple of interactions through the live streams, like I said, I remember your story, my friend. I do. I do think that not good enough belief has played a part in the unfolding of your current reality. But the good thing is you can make a new decision for yourself. Listen, he's only showing up and treating her what seems like better than how he treated you. That is only happening because of the not good enough belief. Not good enough belief is call it, it's like that's the basement of a house. It's the basement, the foundation. And then we can have like offshoot beliefs, the first level, the second level, all caused by the original not good enough belief. My example to that is we start our journey, we learn we are not good enough somewhere within our childhood. Then from there, now again, there is, in my opinion, there is still questions on when children begin to manifest. There are still questions that I have on that. That's why you don't hear me talking about it much. I only talk about what I have experienced and have experienced answers for. So, but somewhere in childhood, we learned the not good enough belief. From there, we manifested an experience. So we'll use me as the example. I picked up the not good enough belief in childhood. I manifested relationship, my first relationship, when I was like 16, 15. That not good enough belief was there. Okay, had my first relationship. I get along with this person very much still, so I mean no disrespect to him. But the bastard cheated on me. And I learned in that experience that being cheated on is a possibility for me. Men can cheat. I learned that belief. So that was like my second floor. No, the basement is the not good enough. The first floor is men can cheat on me. Men can hurt me. Relationships can hurt me. You can be cheated on. Right? So then I manifested that experience. That was painful. That sucked amazingly. It was a tough lesson to learn. But we got back together. That belief was still hanging around. And I do remember experiencing the fear of it happening again. And guess what? It happened again. The bastard did it again. But I responded much differently to the second time. I became a very different version of myself after that second time. And when he came back, I was a lot different. I didn't know anything about this kind of stuff back then, okay? I was a very different person. And when he came back a lovely, lovely version of himself. Hence why we get along very well still. We are still friends. So, do you see how one experience can then spawn another belief, but it all boiled down to the not good enough belief? So I do think, just from what you have shared with me on these live streams, that belief is there. It is not because he loves her more than he ever loved you. It is not because of that. That is the logical answer to that. It's the not good enough belief. The only reason why that would even enter your mind is because the not good enough is there. When we experience something in reality, in one respect, we agree with it, even though who agrees with being hurt and cheated on? All I mean by that agreement is when it happens, our mind is immediately there and believes, yes, this happened. Yes, I've been cheated on. Yes, this experience happened. I'm not trying to say we have to deny what we experience. I'm saying, yes, this happened. This is believable to me. This is believable that this can happen to me, that this person can be this kind of a person. We change that belief, that will no longer be a truth for you. Now, Saba, I want you to know that this happening is not your fault. Hearing that we are in charge of our reality and that we're manifesting our experiences can sound very harsh. It can sound like everything's your fault. You did this. You manifested it. And I don't like how that sounds. And I didn't like hearing it when I first found out this stuff either. So I don't want you to walk away with that. I just want you to hear that you have power. You have control. You can change that belief about yourself and what you believe about him, what you believe about love, what you believe about relationships. And he can come in and be 1,000 times better than he was and treat you with love, respect, all the words that feel good to you. He can be that person. But it starts with you, what you believe about him. And until we believe more pleasant things about ourselves, loving ourselves, knowing we are worthy and deserving of love, we have to know that about ourselves first in order to experience it in reality. And let me just say this. You can bring in someone and they can show up being absolutely in love with you. And maybe, your mind goes, well, all right, then I didn't fully believe that about myself. And it came in and I'm aware of that. But eventually our shit belief, if it's still there, if we're still resonating with the not good enough belief, slowly it's going to climb up and take over. Which is why, think about, I'm sure you have heard this a million times. How do relationships usually start out? They usually start out with, oh my God, it's amazing. We were both so into each other, couldn't get enough of each other. And then suddenly he or she started pulling back, started pulling away, started acting a little distant, started acting, calling less, texting less, more shorter responses in the texts. We hear that all the time. And it's because the beliefs are coming in and taking over. Think of it like that. Change the belief, you change your experience. And to anybody listening, if you are at the place of understanding that you are actually source experiencing reality, just knowing yourself as source is actually enough to change your life, to change the experience. The more you are in the awareness of your true self, and that is something that you willingly choose to keep connection in, beliefs will change. Beliefs will fall away. You will change who you are. So I just wanted to say that. But again, going back to how this live stream started, Source meets you where you are in awareness, in your understanding, where you are in your understanding. So like in the beginning of my journey, I wasn't in the place. I wasn't there. My understanding of being Source was, okay, yeah, I'm God. Okay. But I wasn't changing any of the beliefs about myself. I didn't believe that wholeheartedly that could change. So I wasn't changing. But Source met me where I was. So again, you don't have to be at the level of understanding of who you truly are as Source in order to get reality to start changing and you experiencing manifestations. I just want to say that. So don't panic if you're not there yet. That doesn't mean you're a bad manifester. Cecile, thank you very much. I live in France and I find you extraordinary. You help me feel myself and I just wanted to tell you that I adore you. I adore you, Cecile. What a lovely comment. And I am so excited you're in France. It excites me on so many levels to know that there are people in this live stream with me, connecting with me all around the world. And France is on my bucket list, country. I want to come there, okay? When I was in high school, we had to take a language to learn. There was only 2 choices, Spanish or French. You bet your ass I chose French, just so you know. I'm not perfect at it, though. I'm not perfect at it. I have forgotten a lot. I have forgotten so much that I downloaded an app to help me remember and relearn. Just so you know, I had to take 3 years of it. I don't know how I got through it. I don't know how I got through it because by that second year, I was like, Jesus, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what these words are, but whatever. I can still count in French. But that was such a lovely comment from you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're extraordinary. Oh my God, Kim, you're one of us. Damn right. We're all one of each other. You have right shirt for France, Kim. What do you mean? I don't get it. I think I do get it. I think I do get it. And does like a beret go with that? Is that the flash of picture you have? I'm sorry, my mind is all over today. You have right shirt on. Yeah, and then I would have a beret. I used to have one. I used to have a black one. I just need red lipsticks. I met Canadians. Yeah, because you guys know French, right? You guys have to learn French. Babs, you and I had the same picture. Except, yes, Ali, except the beret I have is black. It isn't red. So we would have to make do. I took French too because I'm in Detroit and it only felt right. I took it because everybody else was taking Spanish. I'm like, man, I am not a follower, okay? I'm taking French. I don't care what anybody else. I was like that even with my music taste in high school. If too many people started liking the music I like, I'd be like, posers. Go find your own music. Oh yeah, I was one of those. So, and at the time, my aunt was a French professor in New York City, or in Manhattan, whatever. 7 years for you, oh my gosh. And I just started picking it up again too, of course. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I totally signed up. I think it's called Duolingo? I don't know. Duo something that has a little cartoon character that shows up and it's reteaching me. I wish I could go to high school with you, Kim. I wish all of you were my high school friends because we would have had a blast. Same, I took French instead of Spanish and then moved to Canada for university. Duolingo, yes. I would love an HBIC road trip. We've talked about an HBIC cruise. We've got all sorts of ideas. I can add you on Duolingo? You're going to have to send me how I figure out who you are, and then we will. You took French too? Oh my God, look at this. Look how we are all so alike. Hello, perfect reflections. So we're all going to go to France and we're going to hang out with Cecile. We're going to meet Cecile. We got another HBIC in France too. We've got other peeps, see? We've got connections all over the world. That excites me on so many levels. Rhonda C, thank you very much. Hey, beautiful friend. Just want to say thank you for all you do. Your videos have been right on target for me lately, and I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much, Rhonda. I love you so much. And I know I already said it, but thank you again for your gifts. Okay? They were amazing. I got 2 amazing glasses, drinking glasses, Hello Kitty and strawberry shortcake, and 2 shirts that have our logos on them. We ride at dawn. And empowered women empower women. By you? Did you make them yourself? Because I thought that you did. They were awesome. And they looked like they were like professional, just saying. Learning French now with SP. Oh my God. Look at that. And it showed up in your reality. We're all your BBL, just saying. Well, Rhonda, you did an amazing job. You could professionally make those shirts. John M, thank you very much. What if everything crap? Wait. What if everything crap we're going through is just a bridge of incidents? 3D can suck it. John M, I need to meet you in person. That has to happen. I need a face with the username. I need it. I need it. I need to know who you are. Because I live for your comments. They are always sassy, sarcastic, and they make me laugh. So I appreciate you. I need a face with the name. No pressure, though. Everything we're going through is just a bridge of incidents. Okay. Let me try to reframe for you. And you must, as a rule of me reframing this for you, you must release logic for a moment. Okay? We're picking up logic out of your head and putting it to the side. Your manifestation is actually already here. And it's already here and in front of you. Logic is out of the equation. So you can't think a logical thought. You're going to think a logical thought, but it doesn't apply. It does not apply. Throw it out for a minute. Your manifestation is already here in front of you. I know that sounds crazy. As you are selecting the version of yourself that, or the state, embodying the state of that version of yourself that has the desire, as you are making that selection, as you are embodying it, choosing it, showing up as it, think of it as a foggy mirror getting clearer and clearer and clearer. You ever watch a steamed up mirror start to dry off and it gets clearer and clearer and clearer? That's what's happening in your reality. Think of it like that. A bridge of incidents, an unfolding. Those words can make people feel like long, linear time. That's not what they're meant to mean. And maybe they're being incorrectly used, I'm not sure. But literally, what you're living and experiencing is you having the manifestation. And we tend, because our mind has logic, we tend not to see that clearly until the manifestation looks clear in our face. But when we look back and we see the things we experienced, we see the connection of how it was actually here all along. When we think logically, it can be hard to accept that. You only want the thing that you're manifesting because you already have it. Logic cannot be included. Take the logic out. And it can be frustrating, yes. But it's frustrating because we're thinking logically and literally. And we all do it. I had my moments of frustration, too. When I got my logic out of the way, though, I could see it. I could clearly see it. So you will, too. You will. All of you will. Yes, Babs. Is what you're describing the same thing? Yes, Sophia. Yes. We are always in the vertical. I think it's easier to think of the realities all laying next to each other, like in a parallel, linear, horizontal, straight line. Well, take parallel out. Think of it that way. All the realities kind of lined up. Vertical is hopping. Vertical is this way. You're jumping. You're jumping from where you started from to the wish fulfilled. You're hopping to it. You're not walking a straight line to that reality. I hope that made sense. So, on that note, I must go. I hope you all have the most amazing rest of your day. To my hot seat channel membership, I shall see you in the morning. I love you all. Again, I hope you have the most amazing, fabulous rest of your day, rest of your week. I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that have exactly what you want. I hope that's what you're doing. Okay? All right. Love you all. See you all tomorrow.